The A-10 Warthog upgrade no one saw coming. And it's not the GAU-8 Avenger. Let's be honest, when you hear A-10 upgrade, your mind probably jumps straight to the GAU-8 Avenger. That 7-barrel cannon is the heart of this machine. It's the reason the Warthog exists. It's the reason pilots love it and why ground troops pray for its arrival. It's loud, it's brutal, and it's unforgettable. But what if I told you the biggest, most important upgrade happening to the A-10 right now has nothing to do with that gun? What if the real secret isn't in the nose, but hidden inside the cockpit, buried in the wiring, or tucked away behind a new display screen? This isn't just another tweak. This isn't about adding a few more missiles or painting it a different color. This is about keeping a 1970s warplane alive, not just flying, but fighting in a world that's moving faster than ever. Drones are everywhere. Missiles are smarter. The battlefield is no longer just tanks and trenches. It's networks, signals, and silent killers flying low and slow. And the Air Force, after decades of trying to retire this stubborn bird, finally realized something. Maybe they don't need to replace the A-10. Maybe they just need to give it a brain transplant. That's what we're talking about today. The upgrade no one saw coming. Not because it's flashy or explosive, but because it's quiet, complex, and absolutely essential. If you think the A-10 is just a flying tank with a giant gun, you're missing half the story. The real magic isn't in the armor or the engines, though those are incredible. The real magic is in how this plane is being rewired, reprogrammed, and reborn for a new kind of war. It started quietly. No press releases, no big announcements, just engineers, technicians, and pilots working behind closed doors, upgrading systems that most people didn't even know existed. And when they were done, they didn't just make the A-10 better, they made it relevant again. In a world of stealth fighters and hypersonic missiles steal the headlines, the A-10 is proving that sometimes the old ways still work, especially when you give them a modern twist. So let's dive in. Forget the rumors, forget the hype. Let's talk about what's actually changing under the skin of this legendary aircraft. Because if you've ever wondered why the A-10 keeps surviving, why Congress keeps blocking its retirement, and why pilots still beg to fly it, this is the answer. It's not just about nostalgia. It's not just about firepower. It's about adaptation. And this upgrade, it might be the most important thing to happen to the Warthog since it first took flight. You see, the A-10 was never supposed to last this long. Designed in the 1970s to stop Soviet tanks rolling across Europe, it was meant to be a short-term solution, a brute force answer to a very specific problem. But wars change, threats evolve, and somehow this slow, loud, ugly jet kept finding itself exactly where it was needed. Desert Storm, Kosovo, Afghanistan, Iraq, even Syria. Each time the A-10 showed up, did its job, and flew home, often with holes in its wings, missing parts, or entire systems knocked out. And each time it proved that survivability wasn't just a feature, it was its identity. But survival alone doesn't keep an aircraft in service for 50 years. You need more than toughness. You need purpose. And for a long time, the Air Force argued that the A-10 had lost its purpose. That in a world of high-tech fighters and precision-guided munitions, a slow-moving attack plane with a giant cannon was obsolete. They pushed hard to retire it. Budget after budget, year after year, they tried to phase it out. And each time, they failed. Why? Because the people who actually use it, the pilots, the ground troops, the commanders on the front lines, refused to let it go. They knew what it could do. They knew what it meant, and they weren't willing to trade it for something shinier but less reliable. Now the Air Force isn't trying to retire it anymore, at least not openly. Instead, they're doing something smarter. They're upgrading it, not to turn it into something it's not, a stealth fighter, a drone controller, or a missile launcher, they're upgrading it to be the best version of itself, to take everything that made it great, its durability, its simplicity, its ability to loiter over the battlefield for hours, and combine it with the tools it needs to survive in today's fight. And that's where the real upgrade comes in, the one no one's talking about, the one that won't make headlines but will keep this warbird flying for years to come. You see, what good is a tough airplane if it can't find its target? What good is a deadly gun if you can't see what you're shooting at? What good is a loyal friend if it can't talk to the rest of the team? That's the problem they solved. Not with bigger guns or stronger armor, but with better eyes, sharper ears, and a smarter way to connect. They didn't just give the A-10 a new coat of paint, they gave it a new nervous system. And that's what we're going to break down. The hidden upgrades, the quiet revolutions, the changes that won't make headlines, but will keep this warbird flying for years to come.